That's funny.
Actually, no, I haven't been in a pool in like 2 years. But
I
it's
can't even
just
remember the
like
last time I was in a pool. It's been a
besides the
while.
pool, besides the pool blood of the person you killed in your basement. Bang, bang, bang. Dun
Well,
dun.
you know.
That's gonna do it for us this week, listeners.
Did
As
you just see?
Chancy,
Did you fucking see that catch, bro? I caught that
yeah, I
son
did
of a
see that
bitch
catch.
mid-fall, and it was
That was
all
impressive.
recorded too. Fuck yeah, that's
For
awesome.
those for those who don't know, Chancy went to pick his phone and dropped it, and then caught it on the way down. A miraculous feat here on the Maniacal Music Musings.
Fucking circus
MQ
folks. It's that circus folk
MQ
gene.
circus folks. Well, that's why you brought Carnival Carnage to the table today, is because you circus folk.
Nah, dude, Cardi's and
And
circus folk are like Crips and Bloods. It's like it's on site. It's like a blood feud that goes way back. I don't even know why. I really don't even know why it started, but it did, and it rages on. Like circus
I
folk and
guess
carnies are not like that's like if a
they ain't
circus
chill.
man if a circus boy fell in love with a carny girl, that's like a forbidden love. Like that's some heavy shit back in the day.
Romeo and Juliet, circus edition.
Carny edition, where they smelled of cabbage and had small feet.
We talking about hobbits or carnies?
Hobbits have huge feet. Have you not seen hobbits? They have huge fucking feet, and they're hairy as fuck.
Well, yeah, but they're small because they're small people. So
They're
my feet are
small
bigger than
people,
hobbit
but
feet.
them feet are fucking huge as fuck. That's like
Dude, I got
almost a
bigger
whole
feet.
ass. That's almost
Nah,
a whole
nah.
ass size, normal ass size foot and height. Now I'm not talking like length. Like you may have a longer foot than a fucking hobbit because you're size freak. But I'm saying like when it comes to like that's like the fucking the girth of the foot, they got some girthy ass feet, man, and some
And
hairy ass some motherfuckers too.
and I assure you, people, we're talking about feet here, not other things measuring the
Yeah,
girth and
hobbit
length of.
feet.
It's not code for anything, I swear. But yeah, them hobbits got some big ass feet. And actually, I might just name that the name of the episode because this might be the opener. 100% think will be the opener of the show. But
I mean,
all
me
right,
going on a fucking epic rant about hobbit feet.
Well, I had panic disorder, rage, severe depression. On top of all that, I'm stressing. Took a blind date to my therapy session and then tried to kill her. Her first impression was I'm groovy, I gotta be, I need a lumbotomy. But when I press play, trouble leaves up out of me. Fuck the real world and my fat ass stuck in. Cause in my music, hotties are fucking expression. Getting out all I wrote, depression, ripping out all your throat. And if my hearing was ever to go, mass murder would be inevitable. I'm a
welcome to Maniacal Music Musings with the hip and the hop, and we ain't talking about no damn pop. Listen to my crazy cipher because I'm serious and broken inside, and it makes me furious. On this lonely road with my sex slave, I should say. And bitch, please, you better behave. My name isn't Stan, but I'm speaking in tongues. We're not like you, and we're gonna see a shit through. With me, as always, is my co-host, Chancy motherfucking Grife. And he's under the influence of a redneck hoe, so watch out, because I don't know which way he'll go. And as always, I'm your host, Jeremy Bryant, and we welcome you to the show tonight. And you may notice I didn't introduce a guest that may have been previously advertised tonight, but due to some family emergencies, he is not able to be with us tonight, but we still want to provide content for your earballs and make our listeners happy. So he will be back. Well, not back, but he'll be coming on Saturday night to do an extra show with us this week. So all the more pleasure for our listeners. And we will start this show out since we don't have a guest. I'm gonna let Chancey go first because I know we both love his album. So I'm gonna go with him first, and he could tell us what album we picked and why he wanted to pick it.
Actually, I chose the Carnival of Carnage by the Insane Clown Posse, the first of the cards, the Joker cards, if I'm not mistaken.
Heard what's going on in the free world. Broke out the asylum and killed a girl. Shit to warm up just to get it out. Cause I'm a beat cut dope, start to break it down. Can't nobody get me. I've always been a psycho, but now they coming with me. Let's straight do we team up. Cause I believe every thug deserves a good cut. Look in my brain, it's fucking insane. Rolling around naked in the acid rain. Rich bitch fucker, took me for a sucker. Now we killing you instead of killing each other. Walked in your house, shot him in the mouth, leaned back the head.
Ah, the
And-
Posse of Insane Clownage.
Yes, indeed. We're both now on watch the lists. But fucking actually it was a friend of mine, Shelby. Shout out to Shelby if he ever sees it. He actually got me into the band. He's like, dude, you gotta check this shit out. It's fucking crazy. And that was the album that he had. And there was this route that we used to walk home from school. And we used to call it the ghetto street roads because it was literally just the shitty side of our small ass town. And it just so happens that Ghetto Freak Show is one of the names of the songs on that album.
Yes,
And
it is.
It just so happened to stick. So, you know, it's one of those nostalgia picks for me.
Which I can agree with that 100%. And it's Carnival Carnage, which Carnival Carnage is one of my favorite Insane Clown Posse CDs. It's not
It's
my
good.
favorite. It's not my favorite ICP CD by any fucking means, but I'll get there. I'll get to there. I'll get there when we get there. And
What's up, Kevin? That's awesome.
But I'll get to that when we get there because I love Carnival Carnage. But well, actually, fuck it, I'll say it now because I mean it's not Great Malenko or Jekyll Brothers by any mean, but
Right.
it's their first Joker card, and just had to go with the first Joker card. I mean, I understand that you had to do it right, and I do plan on bringing some other Joker cards into this eventually, and even some from the second deck, which I love so dearly.
Yeah.
So. Because there's a lot of heat in the second deck of Joker cards, but the first few in that deck are pretty damn good. So I'll be bringing those in eventually. But
Yeah, I can't say that I've heard any of the second deck personally. I may have once I hear them, but I don't know if I can recall them.
yeah, well, we will get to that eventually. But why don't you give us your top 5 for the Carnival of Carnage?
You mean my top 10? Because I got 10 songs on this shit.
Of course you do.
Well, I mean, you can't quite call them honorable mentions when they fucking kick ass. Number 10 for me was Taste.
Ooh, interesting. You'll find out why I say that in a bit, but go ahead.
Number 9 was Never Had It Made. Number 8 was Is That You? 7 was Carnival Carnage. I didn't put it on my top 5 because I
It's
didn't
not really
want
a song.
Huh?
It's not really a song. It's like a beat with like 3 words being said over and over again.
Well, you know. My
I mean,
number
you
6.
like intros, so
I was gonna say number 6 is the intro.
oh my God. You would. You fucking would.
Of course I did. I knew you'd like it. And then for number 5 was The Juggler. For sure, The Juggler. Number 4 was First Day Out. Like, the more I listened to this album, the more I just kept going, oh shit, I forgot about that one. And then number 3 for me is Night of the Axe. That was always that's just super classic. Number 2 obviously is Ghetto Freak Show. And technically my number 2 and my number 1 are kind of like co-slots. Like either one could totally be the other in this race. But obviously number 1 is Redneck Ho.
You actually matched 2 of your top 5 with my top 5 exactly. And that is fucking incredible because I didn't think you would. I mean, you have pretty much you have almost all mine in your top 10, but you definitely matched 2 of them for number and everything else, which
That's
is
awesome. I
pretty.
mean, I threw out 10 of them. I really had to fucking scatter. Like I had some buckshot there. I had to hit something.
Yeah, which I agree. But so, and for those who don't know who Insane Clown Posse is, shame on you. But if you want to know who they are, go back to our second episode where we talked about psychopathics from outer space. I believe it was our second episode. I could be wrong, but
Nah,
so
I would say stick with this episode because if you're gonna want to, like, the best introduction to the Insane Clown Posse is by far the first Joker card. Because when I heard
but
that shit, I was like, oh my. Oh
yes,
my.
but I went through the history of ICP on that episode a little bit, which is why I'm telling them that if they don't know who ICP is, I still say shame, but go back to the second episode and you can hear the history.
Oh,
So,
I get you. I get you now. I'm
and
with
for
you.
those who don't know, I am repping a Juggalo tattoo at all times because I am a Juggalo till I die. Down with the clowns, so I'm dead in the ground, 100%.
I'm repping
But
that no tattoo, no piercing life on this end.
it's okay, Chancy. You can admit you got your balls pierced.
None. Negative. Negative. I would fucking, dude. I have such a phobia of needles. I would jack slap a motherfucker and stab them in the eye with the needle they intended to poke me with. Like, fuck that. Fuck that. It's like in that movie Predator when he's talking to the Billy. He's like, Billy, you ain't afraid of no man. It's like there's something out there waiting for us, and it ain't no man. Fucking, it's a goddamn needle, and I will fucking stab you with it.
So,
what's your review / top 5, 7, 10
well,
for
as I already
the
said,
Carnival Carnage?
As I already said, Carnival Carnage is in my top album for ICP by any means, but it's definitely in my top 3. I mean, it's got to be the top 3, maybe 5. I may be wrong about the 3. I got that. I'd have to go back and look at them all again. But my honorable mentions, which I only had 2 of, because there's actually some songs in this besides the 2 opening songs, which are just basically beats and then a little bit of an intro. Like I'm not gonna put those on my list because they're intros, and intros don't phase me too much.
You're just a hater.
No, I like a good intro, but I'm only gonna listen to it once the first time I hear the CD, and then after that, every other time I hear it, I'm gonna skip over that shit. So, but my honorable mentions are "Never Had It Made" because that relates to my life a lot. So I totally have always loved that song. Got stabbed with a pencil in the neck, but it's cool.
But it's cool, right?
My other honorable mention is That You because it's Kid fucking Rock and it's the first time I ever heard of Kid Rock was actually no, because I didn't hear of ICP until after I already knew Kid Rock, but I mean Kid Rock had Ball with the Ball and American Badass by that point. But
right.
Those are the only 2 songs of his I really like. And I guess Cowboy a little bit, but so those are my 2 honorable mentions. My number 5, of course, and this is because it pretty much released a whole nother album eventually, which we'll get into soon, is Wizard of the Hood. Because I love Wizard of the Hood. I love Wizard of Oz is a trippy ass book, and the fact that they did their own version of it is kind of funny, and the fact that eventually develops into an album called Wizard of the Hood is kind of amazing. Which we'll get to that eventually, because that's one of my favorite smoking albums ever. But
fair enough.
Number four, and this is where we start matching up, is First Day Out. Because that song's just fucking hilarious.
Isn't it though?
She came back from the bathroom and her hair ain't fixed. Probably just took a long ass greasy shit. Like fucking
Probably
hilarious.
took a long, greasy ass, smelly shit.
Gotta love that shit. I mean, that whole song is just priceless. And Twisted redid it eventually, or I think our Ex Murder Boys did. One of the 2 did. But number 3 was Night of the Axe, same as you, because I love Night of the Axe, and I like that and the Juggler, he actually mentions like the Night of the Axe, the Night of the 44, and like they both became songs later on. One became a song on this CD, and one became a song later on I believe Hell's Pit. But
right on.
Night of the 44, I'm pretty sure it was on Hell's Pit, which we'll get to that eventually because I love that CD. But my number 2, of course, was Redneck Ho, because that song.
I mean, who was that brought down seen on there some pumpkin patch off yonder yesterday?
I mean, I like the version that was on Second Pax from Outer Space a little bit better because Twisted's on as well. She's come run down from the hills with her titties a flipping and a flopping everywhere.
Titties
I love that.
Hollering, she was running cranking the falling buzz. Yeah, I think the original's better personally, but that's just I'm biased.
Oh yeah, you are biased. But yeah, Redneck Ho is fucking classic. I love it. And my number 1, which is where I said we're the complete opposite on this one, because my number 1 is Taste. That is the best fucking song on that whole CD. Because I
kind of had a feeling you'd say that, mostly just because Isham fucking.
Yes, it is actually the song that introduced me to Isham and made me want to listen to Isham. But
that's why I put it as number 10, just to kind of jab you, just give you a jab. Like I know it's a really good song, but I'm putting it at the fucking bottom of the list, just like be like, fucking gotcha, you motherfucker. No, it's a good song. Okay. For real though, it's a good song.
Motherfucker, I'm gonna get Nito and come for you.
Well, you know. You got a long way. You're a long ways off. It's all right. I got a long way.
But I mean, Taste is just an amazing song, and it's kind of like their first. It is their first real world song, kind of where they actually talk about like their own lives and what's going on in their lives. Like it's almost like it's one of the when they get to the Wraith eventually, and they talk about like all the songs that they actually did that meant something, and all the other songs they did just as fillers to keep the Juggalos interested. And a Taste is like the first of those songs that actually have like some depth to them and some real life stuff in them. And it's not just Isham, it's capital E.
It's a whole ass motherfucking grip of people.
And it's Jump Steady, motherfucking Violent J's brother. And we'll be getting Jump Steady's 2 albums eventually too, because I love his fucking albums. Like Jump Steady is a good rapper. I mean, some of his music is fucking incredible. Like Jump Steady's a fucking man. So that's my top 5 for Carnival Carnage, because Carnival Carnage is classic. I could bang. Someone puts that in a car on me, and I'm never gonna fucking say, "Oh, turn that shit off." Like never. Or I'm not even gonna say like, "Oh, can we listen to something else?" Like, nah. It's fucking Carnival Carnage. It's classic. It's legendary. It should be framed in the fucking White House. But with that clown we have there now, it would make sense. But we don't do politics in this show. So moving on.
Oh fuck! I don't care. I'll talk about just about any discussion, really. Just about. There's certain ones I won't have, but you know.
We gotta have if we're doing a music show, I want to keep it music. If we ever get another show going that we talked about getting going, then we can get into that shit. So
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
But the CD I chose this week is Dark Half, which Dark Half is on LSP, Lyrical Snuff Productions label under Scum. Who's at the head of that label. So you may notice that.
I did notice. I did.
So this is Dark Half's, I want to say their second album, and it's with Dope Fiend on the whole album, and it's called The Hemingway Solution, which the cover for it alone just like was like, ooh, really? Really?
Right? Like it was like, is that a real picture of somebody's head blown off with a shotgun, or?
This is it, take over, time for movement. You don't wanna get trampled and move, bitch. Shit, just cop the AK with 2 clips. the Eastside 4-2. Don't be boys, who you with? Ride through the game, leaving tires and tread marks. Our turn now, boy, we gave you a head start. Find us on the block or the corner with less bars. Me and this ain't D, animals that are fresh sharks. You haters ain't got what it takes to take me, but I got the flow that makes you to hate me. Fans get amazed by MCs that's faking, but I spit truth and stay away from make-believe. Nothing new to me to go out and get cats, rip tracks, hit them quicker with venom and spit raps. Split you at the wig when I pistol your fit cap. Time for pussy niggas and bitches to get back.
I'm sick of all this hating. Stop acting like you're on top, cause I'll be breaking you down, you down. Sick of all this hating. Stop acting like you're on top, cause I'll be breaking you down, you down.
I don't know, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is, but because pictures like that exist, the internet's a dark place. But
Well, yeah.
but this album I love because it's such a good album overall. I mean, it's not my favorite Dark Half album by far, but it's got one certain song I've talked about on this podcast and other podcasts, and I wanted you to hear it finally. But what did you think of the CD, Sir Chance-a-Lot?
Like I said, part of the reason why I thought that I didn't like Scum's, like, you know, my first time around was really because I think it was because I was sick.
And not in the head, like you should be listening to Scum.
Right. Like I'm always usually much more tolerant when it comes, because I listened to the whole album through this time around. Like, it's not like I found my top 5 and got the fuck out of Dodge. But like, I enjoyed this album more than the other one. Like, it was something, I mean, it may not necessarily be something that I'd listen to again, but if it ended up on my random list, there's a few songs that I probably wouldn't skip per se.
I can respect that. I can respect that. I mean, this music is not for everybody. Even for me, it's not something I put on every day of the week. Like, even when I did used to drive every day of the week, I would never put this on every day of the week. I mean, it's just
Right.
when you're having one of those shitty ass fucking days and everybody in the world is pissing you off, this music helps so much. You take out your anger on this so you don't go home and beat your wife or something. But not saying I do that, but I'm just saying
I just choose different bands than you for that, because we have the same outlet. I just choose different bands.
There are other bands I use too, but Dark Half just resonates with my soul when I'm like that. Like, they bring out the inner me that I don't like to bring out to the world ever. So
Yeah,
that's why I love Dark Half so much. I mean, I've listened to it at work in my office, in my old job, blaring Dark Half, and like I straight up had like temps come in and be like, "Bro, you shouldn't listen to that." And I was like, "Yes, I should, because you don't want to see what happens if I don't." Like, when my anger goes off, I will make everybody in that room cry unless I fucking calm down somehow. So, and I'm not talking physically make them cry. I'll make them cry just mentally. Just because I, fucked up motherfucker mentally when I get pissed off. So, Dark Half helps calm that, and they are good therapy music for certain people. I can't say everybody should listen to them, because there might be a lot more Jeffrey Dahmers that they do. But for certain people, you can relate to them, and that's the whole point of LSP and Psychopathic and SKR and all these record labels that do horrorcore, is certain people can relate to it when they're angry, or some of them are just dope ass beats. Like, some of these songs I'll listen to when I'm happy, and they're just good fucking songs. Like, they're good songs. So, my top 5 for my CD, I had 3 honorable mentions on my CD, and they are Lonely Road, because that song's good. Like, I get that song on a lot of days when I'm like listening to it. Like, I can agree with that song a lot of days. Like, Broken Inside, that's another one, because Broken Inside is totally, I can relate to that so much. And Serious is just a good classic rap song in my mind. It's not even like their style of rap. It's almost like gangster rap in a way. But my number 5, and you're not gonna believe this is actually 5 and not higher up, but my number 5 is Sex Slave. because it was towards the top of the list in the beginning, but then I just kind of like, after listening to songs again and again, I just kind of pushed it all down until I'm like, it has to be my top 5 though. It has to be my top 5. because I mean, it's just the beat's good on it. It's got like a freaking Egyptian beat almost on it, and it's just like
Yeah, I
good
remember the
flow
one.
to it.
Yeah, I remember the song. I remember. It didn't end up on my list.
Surprising. But my number 4 was Not Like You, because I
Nuh-uh.
get that. Did we both match number 4s on our both CDs?
Yeah,
Holy
legit.
shit. Yeah, number 4 is 100% Not Like You though, because there's not a lot of people in the world like me, so I get that fucking shit 100%. Like, I get that 100%. That's one of the reasons I love this band, is they get me on so many different levels.
That's funny.
And my number 3 is Speaking in Tongues, because I believe that's the one that did we match on 3 and 4 on both of our CDs?
No, we didn't, but it's
Oh.
close.
All right. Speaking in Tongues, I believe that's the one that features Scum, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one that features Scum, and I mean, I don't even. It's not even because Scum's on it, because I do love Scum, but
I
I'm talking about
figured
the
it
rapper
would be,
people.
but I was gonna call you out on it.
It's not because it's Scum even. It's just a good fucking CD. It's a good fucking song. It really
Well, it is a good
is.
CD, but it's also a good song.
Yeah, it 100% is. And number 2 is Crazy Cypher, because that's exactly what it is. It's a crazy cypher, and it's just amazing. Like, the beat in it and the flow in it is just fucking incredible. It's such a good song. Like, I love that song, and there's not even a guest in that song. It's just the two of them rapping their hearts out, and it's freaking incredible. But my number 1, and this song's the reason I put the CD up, because it has a certain beat that people may recognize, and I'm gonna make sure it's in this episode when it's released on podcatchers. And this song is "Break You" because it has an amazing fucking beat in it by Linkin Park. And I said for years and years and years before I ever heard Dark Half, or before Dark Half even became a rap group, I said for years, someone should take this beat that Linkin Park did, but with no lyrics, and put lyrics to it. And all of a sudden, I find Dark Half one day, because through Scum, I'm pretty sure I found Dark Half, because he learned a lot of his songs. And all of a sudden, I hear this beat come on. I'm like, did the CD change? And then I look at the computer. I'm like, no. And then all of a sudden, they start rapping over it, and I'm like, oh, I've been saying this for years. What the fuck? Like, it's like something read my mind and just fucking went with it, which
That's
is
funny.
awesome. And yeah, Break You is an amazing fucking song. I mean, it's got Liquid Assassin on it, which Liquid Assassin's fucking an incredible rapper. I like him on a lot of stuff he does. He's done a lot of stuff with SKRN, and LSP, and a lot of the record labels that are big. And I think he's done some with Twisted as well. And it has King Gordy on it, which we talked about Bizarre last week. And Bizarre and King Gordy are in a group under Twisted that I don't know if they ever put out more than one CD, but I don't think they did. But they're called the Last American Rock Stars. And it's fucking, their group is hilarious. Like, King Gordy and Bizarre are just two fat guys trying to get laid. That's all they do, is get laid and get high and do every other drug known to man. But they're two amazing fucking rappers, and I love them. And the fact that King Gordy's on this song too is amazing. He's another, like our guest last week said, Bizarre is a highly underestimated rapper, and so is King Gordy. They both should be so much more than they are. But yeah, Break You is amazing, and I am now dying to hear your top 5.
Like I said, I had 2 honorable mentions. The first one was, in fact, Sex Slave, because I was like, I knew he'd have it on his list somewhere, so I was, like, it's gotta be on there somewhere. My second honorable mention is the Hemingway intro.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do that, because I knew you loved that intro, like, because it actually explains why the album's called that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I knew what it meant when you said the Hemingway solution. I was like, huh? Like the solution, like the Hemingway solution, like. And then I saw the cover of the album, and I was like, yep, they sure are. They sure are. Number 5 was Broken Inside. Number 4 was Not Like You. Number 3 was My Block. Number 2 was Speaking in Tongues.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 1 for me was Cold.
I like Cold. I like Cold. I like My Block, but they couldn't make the top 5, and they weren't really honorable mentions in my mind because, like I said, this isn't my favorite Dark Half CD. We're actually getting to a song off that. Actually, 2 songs off that in Bracket Bastards, in the breakup songs and the guilty pleasure music division.
Oh,
so
nice.
We'll be getting the songs off that CD and that, and oh my god, the guilty pleasure song is gonna have everybody in that group being like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, Jeremy? Why you like this?" Because it's literally named a 4-letter word that starts with an R, but I'm sure you could think of it. But we'll save that for Bracket Bastards, and that's why I'm hoping we get to do all bastards. All bastards except Q on both sides, because Q didn't submit his list because he's a bastard. So,
yeah, well,
but Chancy takes his place because Chancy submitted his list for both sides. So, I think.
Or just make him host and force him to be or forbid him to vote.
Do we really want him to host again?
I mean, I don't care.
It would be entertaining, but
it's always, I mean, it's one way or the other. It'll be funny.
So that actually, wow, we finished our show this week in about a half hour. So
we'll call this a cool with this. I'm not cool with this.
Well, it's the fact that we get to do 2 episodes in 1 week.
I know.
But that's the fact, and that's gonna make it a little bit better.
That's like I feel like we just, tugged on the audience a little bit and sent them home with a little, high hot one.
You gotta be like a stripper and just tease them sometimes, man. You just gotta rub up against them a little bit and just leave them hard and waiting. Leave them hard and waiting, and tell them they'll bust in a few days. So
the tricky part is thinking up another album. That's what I've been. That's what I've been. I've been trying to think that one through.
I got hardcore albums up the ass, so I can go all day with this.
Well, I know you got hardcore albums.
Hardcore,
I'm trying to think.
Hardcore.
So which one's yours?
Mine, which it's hard to do this because this rapper I love, he released his first album twice, once solo and once with collabs on like every song of it. It's all the same songs, but with collabs with people adding new verses. So
right.
To do it right, I gotta go with the first one without the collab, so you can hear his original first masterpiece.
Okay.
And from there, we can go eventually to the collab one someday on a different person. So my album is Chapter 1, Doctrines of the Damned by Sicktanic.
Sicktanic?
So what would you like to bring to the table, Sir Chance a lot? Because we're jumping from LSP to SKR with me, but what do you bring to the table?
But at the same time, I want to make him listen to Eddie Murphy's album, but then at the same time, it's like, shit, I have to listen to that fucking album too. So I can't just be like, I want to make him listen to Party All the Time. I
was gonna say, don't fuck with Party All the Time. Do not fuck with Party All the Time. That song's amazing. That's just a good party song when you're drinking with friends or smoking with friends, and that comes on in the background. You're just like, my girl wants to party all the time, party all the time,
party all the time.
And Eddie Murphy actually put out a mad good song with Snoop Dogg back in 2010 or 11 or 12 called
Well, Eddie Murphy's a talented singer. He is quite a talented singer.
So what is your album, good I'm
gonna have to go with the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, of course you would. Of course you would. And I love you
36
for it.
Chambers.
Oof, I haven't heard that one in a fucking minute too. So fuck yeah. It's been a minute since I heard some Wu-Tang up in this bitch.
Because, it's for the children.
But for the children. And then next Tuesday, we actually will have a pop star on our show who's been on Amazon Netflix shows, and I'm not going to reveal her name just yet, but you'll hear about it when I put out the advertisement next week. So,
Fair
or actually,
enough.
later this week, actually. So yeah, but
Yeah.
So that's gonna do it for Maniacal Music Musings tonight, and we're happy to bring you this minisode, which we will release on Friday as normal, and then next week you'll get a booming mega show with a rapper on it, and then a mega show with a pop star on it. So you can't go wrong.
I swear to God, this never happens.
I was in the pool. I was in the pool.
That's funny.
Actually, no, I haven't been in a pool in like 2 years. But
I can't even remember the last time I was in a pool. It's been a while.
Besides the pool blood of the person you killed in your basement. Bang, bang, bang. Dun, dun.
Well,
that's a do it for us this week, listeners.
Did you fucking see that catch, bro? I caught that son of a bitch mid-fall, and it was all recorded too. Fuck yeah. That's awesome.
For those who don't know, Chancy went to pick his phone and dropped it, and then caught it on the way down. A miraculous feat here on the Maniacal Music Musings.
Fucking circus folks. It's that circus folk gene.
Circus folks. Well, that's why you brought Carnival Carnage to the table today, is because you circus folk.
Nah, dude, Cardi's and circus folk are like Crips and Bloods. It's on site. It's like a blood feud that goes way back. I don't even know why. I really don't even know why it started, but it did, and it rages on. Like circus folk and carnies are not like. That's like if a circus boy fell in love with a carny girl, that's like a forbidden love. That's some heavy shit back in the day.
Romeo and Juliet, circus edition,
carny edition, where they smelled of cabbage and had small feet.
We talking about hobbits or carnies?
Hobbits have huge feet. Have you not seen hobbits? They have huge fucking feet, and they're hairy as fuck.
Well, yeah, but they're small because they're small people. So
they're small people, but them feet are fucking huge as fuck. That's like almost a whole ass. That's almost a whole ass size, normal ass size foot, and height. Now I'm not talking like length. Like you may have a longer foot than a fucking hobbit because you're size freak. But I'm saying like when it comes to like that's like the fucking the girth of the foot, they got some girthy ass feet, man. And some hairy ass motherfuckers too.
And I assure you, people, we're talking about feet here, not other things measuring the
girth and hobbit feet.
It's not code for anything, I swear. But yeah, them hobbits got some big ass feet. And actually, I might just name that the name of the episode. Because this might be the opener. 100% think it will be the opener of the show. But
me going on a fucking epic rant about hobbit feet.
We've done weirder things in this show.
We actually have done weirder things. At least I didn't scare anybody this time.
We'll see. But speaking of which, Amanda wants to come back on the show at some point.
Oh, no shit. That's awesome. I was totally fucking I was like totally sure that I scared her off. Like I was like, ah, fuck. He starts talking about the skull fucking, and now she's running for the hills.
Nah, she deals with me all the time, so she's used to the weird life. But
see, that's kind of what I figured. That's why I was like, well, if Jeremy's going with it, whatever. I'm gonna fucking tell the story. Fucking here we go again.
Yes, I think that skull fucking story has been brought up like 10 times since the original podcast premiered on. So
At least, dude. Not just on this one. Like, at least 3 or 4 times. 3 on this one. Maybe
it
3 or
started
4
on
times
Bastards,
on the bracket. On the bracket bastards.
which is where it started. So
No, it started here.
no, it started on Bracket Bastards in one of the space episodes. Oh no, it started on here with the Q.
With Q. Because he
Yeah,
fucking
you're
thought
right.
that but your shit was my shit. And
Yeah, which
then,
if he needs to listen to the fucking Hemingway solution, then think it's your shit.
yeah, no doubt, right?
I'm sure if you heard Satanic, he'll think it's your shit as well. But
Oh, for sure. At least.
all right, folks, you heard it here. This Saturday, we will be live with our original guest, Casket the Monster. And if you want to know who he is, go Spotify and look him up because he's got a couple CDs out and he is fucking incredible. White Trash. His first CD was called, and his second CD is called Execute Order 66, which is pretty fucking incredible as well. Because who's not for
Nice.
killing Jedi? Who's not for cutting down the younglings? But especially in this day and age. But that doesn't do it for us, listeners, and we will catch you on Saturday. Enjoy this Minisode. And we are now streaming, by the way, on the Paranormal the New Normal and Maniacal Music Musings Facebook group. So
Yeah.
if you want to watch us live, just ask to join. We turn nobody away. So just ask to join. Just like a strip club. We don't turn you away. We may turn you on.
And
we don't
there's
turn
no
you away.
cover charge because a lot of them have cover charges.
And you can also find me on Twitter as @JuggaloBastard, and same goes for the gram. And so, Chancy, where can they find thee?
I mean, outside of here, the Bracket Bastard podcast, and then like Facebook. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Otherwise, I'm pretty much like here.
All right. Well, we will come find us if you like, and come join the group if you want to watch our lives. We will see you all next week for our listeners, and for our watchers, we'll see you on Saturday night, for we promise will be a longer show.